Welcome to ITC Talking Dead, episode 7. Right now, also introduce yourself, Rahkee.
I'm Rahkee from Chill Seekers. Welcome to the ITC Talking Dead, Matt Benton. And a special guest for tonight, Paranormal Tyler.
What's up, guys?
I bet we don't have at talk shows where everyone's like cheering. I don't have those buttons.
I was imagining it in my mind, so I think we're good, man. That's all I needed.
Well, okay, so I was savoring the questions. We're like doing this stuff beforehand. I was curious, what got you into the paranormal, Tyler?
Well, it was a neighbor lady of mine. She was a single mom of a couple of kids, and her kids were roughly about my younger brother's age, about 13, 12, and I was about 16, and they were all like skateboarders, and we'd skateboard around, and we became like, I don't want to say necessarily close with the family, but she felt comfortable like asking us for favors, like, hey, will you watch my kids while I go to the store kind of stuff, and she asked if I would watch her house while she went on like a vacation, just, hey, can you keep an eye on the house type of deal. And, me and my brothers, we were like stoked. We're like, hell yeah, we'll watch your house. Like, we thought we were going to like catch a criminal in the act or something. And, we thought we'd be able to bust in their baseball bats and whoop somebody or something. But so we would skateboard in front of the house while she was on vacation, just kind of like literally watch it. And it's totally creepy now that I look back on it. But one day we'd stopped skateboarding just to kind of take a breather, and we were all sitting on the curb. There was me and my brother and my two friends that I call my brothers. So people have heard this story before. Sometimes I just say my brothers. They're like my brothers. So anyways, we were sitting there watching, and we looked in the bay window, and we just saw this man like walk across the window and then like disappeared right before our eyes. And it was so funny because it was like in a movie where like when you see something scary and then everybody takes off running, it literally went down just like that. Like we all looked at each other, like knowing, like our eyes contact, like we could see into each other's souls. We knew what we saw, and we all just like, we took off. We were out, And when we got back up to where my house was, we were like, did we just see a damn ghost? Like, holy crap. No way, we just saw a ghost. Like, whoa. And we were all pumped on it. And then, everyone else went back to their daily lives. But me, I was like, hell no, I've got to find out, like, what was that? Why did that happen? Like, how can I make that happen again? And so that was like the first experience that led me into paranormal. It wasn't until years and years later that I actually became what I would call an investigator, but that's what got me sparked into it and interested in it.
Actually, out of curiosity, so that's what caused your interest in it. But what was that one moment? Because I think most investigators have this one moment. And that one moment where they decided to become an investigator. What was that moment?
Oh, let me think on it here. I don't know, man. I think probably it was a combination of finally meeting a team. I think that's really what was holding me back, is I didn't know who to reach out to. I didn't know there were actually teams who did this. Like I was just kind of like going around to places by myself, that anywhere that looked creepy. And I think meeting the first team, I was a restaurant manager at the time, and this team came in to eat actually, and they were all wearing their ghost hunting, their team shirts and stuff. And I went over and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's like, these people hunt ghosts because it said on their shirts. I'm like, wow, I can actually talk to someone about this. So I went and, I chatted with them, and they invited me to go to this location, like a real haunted location. And I was so excited. Like, this is my first time going to like a real, like certified, haunted place. And so I was super stoked. And I think that's really what led me to become the investigator. But I was well into the paranormal before then, just not a full-on investigator. I didn't research anything. I just went anywhere that looked creepy.
Yeah, what made you decide to become a filmmaker? You and I, it seems like we've been doing the filmmaking stuff. And that's a little bit different in the paranormal field. It's work too. But
oh yeah,
curious, what got you into the filmmaking part of it?
It was 2013, and basically, sorry, I'm just spamming out our our show here real quick, try and get some more people to watch us. This is awesome. I love how you guys have this set up. Like, going off on a tangent here, this is really cool. I like the whole Hangouts thing, and I like being able to see you guys. It's really cool. It seems different, and I really like that. And that's actually kind of what got me into filmmaking, kind of ties into that. I love being different. And it was 2013, and myself and a couple of fellow investigators were talking with this production company. They wanted to put together a TV show, and I was still fairly new to like the entertainment side of paranormal. And so, I wasn't aware that these talks are, there's a lot of empty promises out there and whatnot. And so, of course, I was like super stoked, like hearing this for the first time, like, wow, like TV show and production company. And so, like, I invested every feeling and emotion I had into this, like, one moment and turned out to be just a fluke. Like, nothing happened. And it got my hopes up so hard. Like, I mean, I was just so crushed inside. And so I just remember telling myself, well, if these guys aren't going to do it, I'm going to go do this myself. And so I just, like, I went and got a DSLR camera, like, and I don't know why I chose DSLR. It would have been so much easier to get like a point and shoot, but I was like, oh, I'm going to get a DSLR. And, I just started learning and just started putting out like crappy content after crappy content. At the time, I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And now that I look back, that was so bad, but it was a learning curve. And that's really like where my passion for like filmmaking came into play, and where I stopped calling myself like I actually took a break from calling myself a YouTuber or like an internet person. I was just like, it seems like everybody's doing this online TV show stuff. Back in the time, I was like, everybody's trying to do this right now. Everybody's coming out with their own online shows. And I was like, I hate being the same as everyone else. I want to do something different. And so I was like, well, what if I made a documentary film? And so I started like kind of tampering with the ideas, and I don't want to say I successfully made something that was totally awesome, but it was a great learning experience for me to try and move into like making a film. And I kind of started, I guess, self-proclaiming myself as a filmmaker, but along the way, actually learning, real skills and trades of said filmmakers, and meeting some people actually in the entertainment industry that could guide me. And I think where I got my edge over most people is that the people I chose to surround myself with and learn from had nothing to do with the paranormal. These were all people that had made films or worked in the film industry that were nothing to do with paranormal. And that's actually where I got my best advice from, was people that have nothing to do with paranormal whatsoever. That's where I learned a lot of my stuff, my post-production, pre-production, screenwriting, storyboarding. Like, no one even the paranormal probably even knows what half that crap is, but that's like what I wanted though. I wanted to learn what people don't know. I just have this like kind of personal philosophy is do what others won't so that you can live how others can't. And I think when you do that, it really separates you from the rest of everybody else, but it also makes you more knowledgeable, and with knowledge comes power. And I really think that's what set me aside and made me decide, like, I'm going to go for this. Like, I feel like I've got a niche for it. I feel like my mindset's different and I'm determined. So I'm going to go for this filmmaking stuff. That's really where it started.
Yeah, that's interesting because actually before I was an investigator, I was doing filmmaking. I was getting into filmmaking.
Oh, you were opposite.
I've always been into the paranormal.
Oh, okay.
But the filmmaking came first when it came to actually doing it. I've always been into the paranormal. I've done research since I was in elementary. I was reading all the books of the paranormal, but it didn't spark until 2011. I had another situation where I asked it to happen, and it did. And that was the first time when you get that kind of interaction, like the first time I ever asked a question to a spirit and it does it, that's what spiked my interest in becoming an investigator. But the filmmaking I was doing like 2 years before I became an investigator. Then I became an investigator. I was focusing on making all my stuff into episodes unless I didn't get enough evidence. I didn't think it was worthy enough for an episode. And like what you said, oh my God, I hate my old videos. That's why I don't repost them on my new channel.
Orbs everywhere.
Oh, dude.
Actually, that was
paranormal gold.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't actually, when I first started, I totally didn't believe in orbs, completely didn't believe in orbs until I started investigating more. And then I caught like two or three very interesting things that didn't seem just like a dust, but it only happened like 2 or 3 times, and that's what changed my mind about orbs. But I didn't believe in orbs at all when I first started, so that's a little bit different. And when it came to the filmmaking part, I also went to college for filmmaking, learned story.
Oh, nice.
And it's a different style. My style is about doing creepy, very atmospheric. What is your style, out of curiosity, Tyler?
Well, that's where you've got some edge on me. As far as proper terminology is what to call it, you got me there, man. I have no freaking idea. But as far as the feel I go for, I don't know that I could put words into my style. I just feel like I use specific types of music. I like ambient tones. I'm not a fan of the what am I looking for? I'm not a fan of long silent pauses or long awkwardnesses. I like to keep it entertaining, so I like to move from one subject matter to the next as quick as possible. And I do like to throw in a lot of stock footage. I really feel like that, stock footage, and then most recently, like voiceovers, I think they really add to the value of your video. And it's part of that phrase I said, do what others won't so you can live how others can't. Whatever that means to you, everybody can interpret that differently. But like some of the things I see other online filmmakers or episode makers doing is they don't take the time to film stock footage or put their own stock footage up, or they don't take the time to do the voiceovers, or they do mediocre job at it because maybe they're in a hurry or whatever it is, who knows? And I'm not judging. That's wonderful. They're putting content out. I'm just saying I want to go beyond that. So my style is just whatever feels right. And that's the other thing too, is I feel like my style changes depending on the videos that I make. I think that, coming from a filmmaking background, like you said, I like to use different types of colors and contrasts depending on what the mood is or like what environment I'm filming in. So if it's like if I want it to be, if we're talking about a darker subject matter, I'm going to use a lot of like, for example, bronze aggressives, or I'm going to use a lot of darker tones, a lot of darker, more drawn out melodic tunes and that kind of stuff. But I don't know what you would word my style. I just kind of change all the time. I don't know really what terminology you could tack onto my style to call it.
Well, I saw a couple of your videos, and I was thinking more like vlogger / paranormal investigator. Well, that's just from the few I've seen. I haven't seen them all.
Yeah, there's a lot, and that's the other thing too, is I have a mixture. I have a couple different channels, and I actually do vlogs. Like I do daily vlogs. Well, I shouldn't say daily anymore. I've kind of stepped away from the daily vlog. I just kind of more or less try to vlog like once a week or whatever. But vlog, informative. I don't know, man. I don't know the terminology. Whatever feels right. That's my style.
Tyler, we got a question from I'm checking the group chat, and right now Cheryl asks, do you plan to add to your team or do any collabs with other teams?
Yeah, we're actually networking right now. We're just trying to start kind of a larger coalition of not necessarily power. I know there's a lot of people who've tried to do that. We're trying to start like basically a larger coalition of reliable teams, kind of similar. If you guys know Eric Knapp, a good friend of mine, he's starting the APA. It's kind of similar to that. We're kind of more progressive and slow growing right now just because we want to really work out the kinks, but we are branching out. We are looking for more team members, and we have other people. We're called the Supernatural Research Team is technically the name of the team, but we have a West chapter and an East chapter right now. So Daniel Dorsey is the head of our East chapter, and then myself and Jeff Brown are the head of the West chapter. And basically, we're just looking for more teams that we feel hold the same value to us. And this is, by the way, completely separate from anything production-wise or filmmaking. This is completely different. And this is, something we take very seriously. And I feel like we want people that really represent and uphold the standards of what a paranormal investigation should be. And so right now we're just building. I mean, we're going through, we have like a new team member packet that you get that goes over like our 4 pillars of promise and what to do when you encounter this problem or this problem, just because we want people to be informed again. Matt, you made a great comment on my status the other day. You're like, this is what's wrong with the field today. And I couldn't help but laugh because it was true when people, post things like that. And it's, we can't necessarily blame the person because they're so misinformed by what they see on TV. And that's another thing that I try to bring to my productions is, what they see on TV is so much different. But there's, people like you and I, we understand that because there's got to be a production value behind it or it wouldn't be a television show. But in the same sense, when you're dealing with clients and people who really have problems, you've got to approach this incredibly different than if you were to go on a private investigation and try and film something for yourself. You got to approach them completely different.
Yeah.
But yes, we are looking for more. That was kind of off on a tangent. We are looking for more people.
You were saying that as far as like the basics of a paranormal investigator, what do you believe like that would be, or what do you say that is?
I think that the art form of paranormal investigating in general. So what I mean by that is when you take an approach to, let's say, a residential case, there are so many steps that I think need to take place before you even begin or conduct a possible investigation, such as really getting to know your client, number one. So having multiple meetings with these people via telephone, have multiple people on your team talk to them so you can get differing opinions. Obviously you want to question the living crap out of them. This is an interview. We're interviewing them to investigate their home. We need to know every possible detail about what could be going on there. So when you start the interview process, you ask everything. When did you buy the home? Have you had any past relatives that have died? Have you had hauntings before? Are you on any medications? A lot of the foundational pillars that we used to do, or that you would see done more often. And then, from there, you set up like a pre-walkthrough where you come through and your very first visit to their home is not necessarily an investigation, but more or less you're coming through and sweeping with your EMF detectors or whatever else and finding where natural occurrences could be taking place that may be confusing, and maybe making people think they're having an experience. And from there, we document it all, paperwork. And then we come back. If we feel it merits an investigation, we'll come back and investigate. And then we compare it to our paperwork. And it actually works perfectly because if you document things on your paperwork and then you have an experience and you can go back and say, well, I had an experience down in the basement. It felt like I was being watched. And then if you go back to your paperwork and correlate and say, oh, we did EMF sweeps down here already, and we know for a fact there's not a high level of EMF, let's go check again, and you still come up with nothing, then you can say, hey, maybe there's something going on here paranormally, or the vice versa, where, last time we were here, we caught an EMF spike. It seemed like this area was high, so maybe that's why we're feeling this way. But I think that just really helps back up your findings. But ultimately, you're there to help somebody if they reach out to you. So I think that if you're not getting all the information from them, how can you possibly help them? So that's what I mean by like foundational pillars. Okay.
We got another question or did you got something, Matt?
I was going to say what is very important is to stay true to yourself. Actually, one of the biggest things about being a paranormal investigator is your credibility, right. and like more important than anything. Always be 100% honest about what you think it is. Always, here's another thing: you have to be open to everything. You can't close yourself out. Like there's investigators out there that close themselves from science and say, "Oh no, that has to be paranormal," or the other way around. It goes either way. There are two that are too skeptical, and there's this too far skeptical and too far believing, and you have to be open for both completely for being a good investigator, in my opinion.
Nailed it. Yep.
Yeah, and so yeah, I agree 100% with what we were saying earlier, and it is a huge problem with the paranormal field. It's really messing with me. It's pissing me off in a way because
I'm sorry, man. Sorry. I'm upset.
The reason why we're taken seriously in the paranormal, the scientific community, is because of the people like this, and there's so many of them is the problem. It's not just like a small amount. It's like probably 65% of the paranormal community, or even more, that are all believing that about this matrixing or this orbs that are dust or pareidolia. All this, it's too much. There's too many investigators out there that are going that route, and it's causing a problem in the paranormal field, in my opinion. And that's why we're not taken seriously. And also, we need to think of doing things in a more scientific method to be able to prove this. And that's what my new team is doing right now. And we're coming up with scientific ways of gathering evidence on cue. Because you know how scientists say you can't put an entity in a box and everything?
Yeah.
Well, I have an invention idea that we're working on. So you guys have to wait for that. But it could change things if this works.
Cool.
But I seriously think that it's a huge problem in the paranormal community.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I just, it is frustrating. I, used to kind of beat myself up over it too, and just really, you want to comment on everything you see, but I've realized, like, dude, there's so, like you're saying, there's so many of them out there. Like, the best thing I think we can do right now is just be an example. I mean, trying to change it all single-handedly, it's not going to happen. I am frustrated with it. I personally don't know how to solve it or find a solution for it. So I just figured, you know what? I'm just going to be an example, or try to surround myself with those who I feel are examples as well.
Here's the thing that we need to focus on. Don't prove that ghosts exist. Don't prove that demons exist. Don't prove that angels exist. Prove that these entities exist. We're not trying to prove what they are. We're trying to prove that they exist. These entities are manifesting in our world and are intelligently doing things. That's what we need to prove. We can't really prove if it's a human spirit, and we can't really prove that it's a demonic or whatever. But I believe we could get to the point to where we can prove that these other entities, there are entities out there manifesting, because we're seeing things thrown across the room. I've already seen it 5 times. Actually, 3 times I've seen it with my eyes. The other times I heard it right next to me. So 3 times I've seen it with my own eyes thrown. And then something like that, there is definitely something out there. And so I think that we need to focus on proving that entities exist. These entities exist. Don't prove what it is. Prove,
just prove they exist. Show their existence. They're here.
And the way of doing that is like what the scientists are wanting, is trying to figure out how to have the same results every time. And that's what we're trying to do.
Gotcha. I'm on board. That sounds cool.
We got another question from the group chat. What software do you recommend for analyzing EVPs?
Audacity.
Yeah, Audacity is a good one. It's cheap, easy, reliable, and works flawlessly, in my opinion. That's what I would use.
To tell you the truth, there's also another thing that I see a lot of investigators do. They enhance the crap out of it to where it's all distorted. And I'm like,
yeah, and then the EVP comes out like, and you're like, what the hell? Like, it just does it like wrong, right? Like, I understand what you're saying.
Just increase it a little bit to where it's still off. Because so half of the time I don't even understand what we're listening to when it's maybe for the people that are reviewing it, because I heard the raw audio, but not the people that aren't hearing the raw audio and just straight up, here it is. And it's all distorted audio.
Oh, yeah.
That voice.
Sounds awful. I try not to use, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll use if I have to, but like if I have to add that many things to it for it to become audible, it just seems less credible to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just picky.
Sense.
No, I agree. I don't put Class C EVPs in any of my episodes or the movie I'm working on. I don't do any of that. It's all Class A, and the Class B has to be pretty good of the Class B. I also do my classes a little bit differently than other investigators. My Class A's are like extremely good EVPs. Like it sounds like you and I talking pretty much right now. That's how good the EVP has to be for me to count it. In Class B, I consider it like a quieter EVP, but you still understand what it's saying, or it's definitely audible. Class C's, I don't count. It's mostly only investigators can hear it, but I don't put it in my episodes because I'm going to get a comment from a skeptic, and I don't blame them. But you're going to get comments from skeptics saying, "Oh, that's something that's not real or whatever."
Yeah, no, I get you, man. You get some feedback on it for sure. Even with Class A's, you'll still get feedback. People are gonna find something to complain about.
It's true.
Okay.
Are you on the comments?
Are you ready for another question? Or
Yeah, man. Throw them my way.
Okay. All right. Next question goes, what do you and your team hope to see as far as technical equipment advancements to help achieve your ultimate goals?
Which one is okay?
Oh, was that for me or was that for Matt?
Oh, that's for you.
I think may sound odd, but I think we need to go backwards with technology. The one thing I am digging, and that's why I'm totally doing this interview right now, is like ITC, because I've had just some really insane experiences. I will use an ITC device way before I'll ever use a spirit box. I can tell you that right now.
Oh, I got a question. Then hold on real quick. What's your favorite ITC device? So,
dude, I don't know, man. I want to. There's one I want to say. I don't know, man. I just don't want to start some online wars, but between people. But I would say one that really I've had a lot of success on is the Spiritus. And
chill seekers.
Yes.
Right.
So, but it doesn't mean that I rule out other great apps, Echo Vox and what else. I just, man, right. I'm staying out of that online battle. I'm just telling you guys what I've had.
I always tell people between because the whole Banshee box, whatever works for you, whether it's a hacked radio, whether it's an app, as long as you're getting the results at that location, and I don't mean yes or no, or I'm talking about direct answers, like your name, the name of the location, or stuff of relevance, then I believe that's whatever works, whether it's a hacked radio, computer app, or
like this portal. Beauty right here.
And I that looks cool, man. See, I need to mess around with that stuff more. I have never dived into it that deep. But I think as far as, I just see so many, there's some really creative stuff out there, but to me, maybe I just don't understand the functionalities of it. I just see a lot of stuff that's this is basically a juiced up spirit box with a bunch of gold gadgets and cool dials, that are price tagged at $899. To me, I would never, like I said, maybe I just don't know the technology that goes into it, but for me, I like EVP. I think that's something you can really stand behind every single time. And then, like I said, I really like the ITC devices. And then I will use a spirit box, but I like to only use them under certain circumstances. For example, there's this cemetery here that's in the middle of, it's an old mining town. We won't get into that. It's a long backstory, but there's absolutely no radio signals or cell service. So that to me is a perfect time, a prime time to use a spirit box when you're not getting any contamination of any radio frequencies or anything. That's where I will use them. But I really like ITC and EVP. Those are my two favorite things right now.
You know what just happened right now?
What?
An idea just popped in my head. Rahkee, I want to have to talk to you about this later.
For some reason, I got to get my tools out already. I already sensed something. Oh, Jesus. Man.
An idea just popped in my head right now. Holy shit. I have an idea for EVP. I love it when I wonder if it's your spirit guides or something, that when something so random just pops in your head. I don't know. Sometimes I think that. But an idea just popped in my head so randomly, and it didn't even involve the ITC. It involved EVP sessions.
Ooh.
Something just popped in, and I can't wait to talk to someone about that. I had to copyright that idea.
Go get her done, man. Copyright it up. Don't let anyone steal it.
Oh, man. They put you on blast, Tyler. Is it Merker Cemetery?
Yep.
They put you on blast in the group chat.
Damn them.
By Jeffrey?
Yeah, that's he's one of my production dudes. He works very closely with me. Yeah, he's been there with me quite a number of times. He's pretty much one of the only other people you see in my stuff.
I have a question for you, because I'm always curious about other investigators' beliefs. And I'm curious, do you believe in demonics?
In what?
and demonics. Demonic.
Like demonic hauntings and
Demonic entities.
yeah. I think it's very different than what people think it is, but yeah, I do. I just don't think it's as common as people think it is.
Very common at all.
And I think that it's very easy to misinterpret a negative spirit for demonic haunting. That's just my opinions, but I wouldn't consider myself an expert on the situation, nor would I say that I'm the right person to ask about demonic entities. I mean, there's one case I worked on that I can't really say much about it right now just because it's going to be on a show coming up or whatever. But like, I can't say that, I'm an expert after working on that case. I just think that there's more out there than I thought originally. And I think that they appear in different ways than I anticipated them to. That's my opinion.
What were some of the relevant things that you felt that made it a demonic case? Like, what were some of the situations that were happening in the case? Would you like to share? I mean, like, you don't have to tell the complete story, but just some of, like,
I just think that
Rahkee.
Yeah, like it's like once it airs, like I'm sure I just don't want to like screw anything up for anybody else, but like like it's gonna be on a show soon, so.
Hey, I want this video taken down because he's telling some things.
Right,
so
it just I will say this, like it just appeared in ways I wouldn't have expected, and like tricky, very tricky, right? Okay, so just like incredibly intelligent, incredibly like smart, tricky, patient. Those are the words I would use.
Okay.
Oh yes, described my life with these things. Being a demonologist, those were the perfect words. I'm just gonna say that much.
So I guess I was spot on with that case. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it was odd. It was odd, but like I said, it's not something. I can't say I've ever encountered anything like that prior. I think there's times where I thought maybe I was dealing with, negative entities, and I think those get confused a lot, and I didn't think I even understood until recently the complete difference between the two. But it was just totally. It was like a different ball game. Like I can't even describe it. It was totally different.
Yeah. What are the questions coming on? Are you getting it from Facebook or are you getting it from YouTube?
Oh, so I'm on YouTube. I was going to go live on Facebook when I started the whole Magic Box session.
Any more questions for the people? We have 9 viewers. Before we do ITC.
I saw one. What is your favorite part of being a paranormal investigator?
Honestly, history. I would say just like being a part of like history, like like the feeling is undescribable. Like communicating with souls from the past that were like part of something that's so historically valued in our society. For example, what's a good example? Like in upstate New York, there's a place called Fort William Henry. It was used in the French Indian War in the 1700s. There's dungeons in the basement. There was a giant massacre that took place on the property, and just all these crazy things from the late 1700s when our nation was founded. And going into this location and communicating with souls that were around during that time and being like drawn into that history is like, it just feels like you're a part of the history now. And like, I think that's my favorite part. Like, I just love it. It draws me in. I love history.
For me, I do love history, but for me, it's always been about unraveling the secrets of the unknown. Getting more knowledge of things that most people don't know about, experiencing things that most people will never experience. That's my favorite part about paranormal investigating. And I am so proud to call myself an investigator. And even now, when people even think I'm like weird or whatever, like especially in high school, I was made fun of it all the time. But they have not experienced the shit that most us investigators have. And
oh yeah,
you will never know. And I love just sometimes when they make fun of me or when they say something about it, I just smile and grin a little bit, and I'm like, okay.
I think like it's for me, like it's so cool, like tying into that kind of like unraveling the mysteries of history through paranormal investigating. So there's a case that we've been working on for a little over a year. There's this tunnel system in a city called Ogden out here that's supposedly doesn't exist. They say it doesn't exist. The city tells you there were never tunnels there. This is a joke. But if you ask anybody who's anybody, they all say, there were these tunnels used for prohibition and illegal prostitution and all kinds of stuff. Well, my team and I'm very proud to say, kind of like you were saying, that we, through the investigation portion, have uncovered so much of these tunnels. Unreal. Even most recently, we're solving things that haven't been solved since the late 1800s, early turn of the century. Some of these owners, for example, we found this ancient form of Chinese writing, and it was on the north side of a street in Ogden called 25th Street. And this writing has been down there since these tunnels existed, and many people have come down there and no one's been able to debunk or decipher what they say. Excuse me. No one's even, I don't even think, looked into it far enough to see what it says. And we've gotten EVPs that lead us to believe that these were working tunnel systems. And then we actually got these Chinese writings translated. And it's the first time ever in history anyone's been able to translate these. And I think that it helps prove that these tunnels were real. I've stood in the tunnels. I've been in these tunnels. And I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Jeff Belanger. He does like research for Ghost Adventures and some other stuff. He was even involved in helping me get these translated. And we were able to get them translated. And here's what's interesting is that they are an old form of ancient Chinese writing called sun gouting that's normally used on scrolls. And what makes it interesting is that it's on the north side of the road on a brick underneath of a building, underneath of the street in an old tunnel system where back in the day, Chinese were segregated to the south side of the road only. They weren't allowed on the north side of the road. So why is there Chinese writing? Because there was a lot of racism back then, a lot of color separation. But why was Chinese writing on the north side of the road? And why is it this ancient sacred form called sun gouting? And just so much mystery that we've uncovered through asking questions. Did you work right here in this tunnel system? And clear as day, yes responses, and just stuff like that. I think that, I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but they tie so closely together, and being able to uncover some of this history to me is just, it's mind-boggling, honestly, mind-boggling.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. When it comes to Mackey Mansion, I got names I didn't even know of the history of those people's names at all, and got the names of them. And I thought that, like, when you discover things afterwards, after the investigation, that's what I find fascinating. And also that also disproves the theory of your brain causing the activity. Because if you're getting EVPs or an Ovilus session that we did, of getting those specific names, and then do the history and actually research about it, and we find the exact same names, that's when you're like, okay, this disproves the whole, it's the brain paranormal activity. It has to be some kind of external force, entity, external. It's from us in a way, because it gave us information we didn't know about at all.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's another reason that I do it too, is it makes it so much more fun when you can get a response that's so relevant pertaining to somebody that you didn't even know existed.
Yeah. And it uncovers and unravels more history also. Not just well, Rahkee, any more questions?
I've been everyone's saying hi to each other in the chat room. They're mingling amongst each other.
Actually, Rahkee, I'm curious about you. What's your number one favorite thing about being a paranormal investigator?
Man, I would have to go with what Tyler said. I would say it'd be the history and just the locations in general, and finding out like new things of what's why the location is haunted in the first place, and how did it even get to that. I found locations to where they've been abandoned as well, and just to find them and be able to find the history and just see history in general, it's exciting, man, to see what happened, whether it's between 60 to 100 years ago or even farther than that. But the farthest I've ever seen so far has been, as far as researching, would be about probably 100 years back. 100 years back. So locations.
That's cool, man.
All of us have a reason, and for me, it's definitely just figuring them out. The entities themselves is my number one. History second, for me.
I wish I could do what you're doing, man. Like I don't know, man. I just like there's so much more that goes into it. Like you're basically just this giant like detective, dude, and like that's hard work, you know. And so I really commend that. That's awesome that you can sit there and figure that out. Like for me, it's hard, man. It's not easy to do that, to be able to put, you know, scenarios together and actually decipher what's going on in a location. So that's cool, man. It's cool that you can do that.
Thanks. And was that towards Rahkee or me?
That was towards you, man.
Okay. Just making sure. You know what? I believe I was chosen for this in a way, because what happened at Old Washoe Club, if that never had happened, I would be in the Marine Corps right now. That's where I would be.
Hoorah.
And yeah, Rahkee was in the Marines. So and yeah, that's where I would be right now if it wasn't for what happened in 2011. It felt like,
now you got me wondering, man, what happened to you?
Well,
he got thrown out of the window at the Mackey Mansion.
Oh, totally. No. No, what happened was back in 2011. I've always believed in ghosts. I've seen them when I was a kid. I saw shadow people all the damn time when I was younger. When I was like 7 years old, saw shadow people every day almost, and had other weird paranormal experiences, like of my name being called and everything. That's not what got me into the investigating part. I've always been interested in it because of that, but not the investigating. What got me into the investigating was in 2011. I went to the Old Washoe Club in Virginia City, Nevada, and I heard the place was haunted. So I went to the crypt and I heard some stories about a little girl being there. So I asked specifically, if there's a little girl here, can you please move something or make some kind of noise? Not kidding you, 5 seconds later, a brick the size of my palm gets thrown at us. There's me and two other girls in the crypt, and it's a small crypt.
Yeah.
Girls start screaming and run out. I capture all this on my audio recorder, so I think it's really cool that I caught the initial experience of this on audio, and also I had the brick with me. Let me get it out of my chest. I'll show you.
That sounds crazy already.
Best souvenir from Mackey Mansion.
Look, he's got it all locked up, like his
I know.
Personal little locket there.
You actually got the box inside that box.
This is the second rock that was thrown, but that's not the one. This is the one right here at Old Washoe that was thrown at us.
Dang.
This is the reason right here. This souvenir is what started it for me. And I've always thought about, if this never happened, that's where I'll be right now in the Marine Corps, maybe even dead. So you never. I think life kind of puts you into very interesting scenarios.
I agree. You know what's crazy, man? The reason I had a life-changing story take place at the Washoe Club, something that's still going on, which actually pertains to the little girl. I had a similar situation. I think mine was 2014, and I was with a fellow investigator. His name's Trey, and there were, I think, 4 or 5 of us total there, but the rest were downstairs. And I told Trey, because we could hear, you know, you've been to the Washoe Club, like if you're all on the same level, there's a good chance you can pretty much kind of hear everybody, even if it's faintly. Mm-hmm. So I told Trey, I was like, dude, let's go upstairs, man. Like, I want like a super exclusive experience. Let's go upstairs. So him and we went upstairs. And mind you, prior to this, somebody had set like a stuffed animal up on the 3rd floor where supposedly the little girl lost her life. And they set it there like for her to play with. Well, I had moved it and made it very clear. I said, I'm moving this. I'm going to put this over here as a trigger object. And it was, once I moved it, all these weird things started happening. Well, when we were back up on the 3rd level, I heard a little girl crying audibly with my own ears, and I started to get really bad anxiety, and I started freaking out, like, whoa, like, oh my gosh, like, and Trey, he heard it too. He's like, dude, this is insane. And I started panicking because I have a little girl too, and my natural reaction as a father was to, are you okay? Like, what's wrong? Can I help you? And I almost became obsessive with the questions. Like, I asked them so much, like, are you okay? What is going on? Because the crying would not stop. It was the freakiest thing. And I caught a really crazy EVP, which I will actually play for you in just a second. But leading into that, I actually left the Washoe Club. I left completely after that experience. It spooked me so bad. Like, I can't even describe the anxiety I had. I felt so horrible, so I left. Well, fast forward to January of this year. I went back to the Washoe Club, and it wasn't until I got to the Washoe Club I got really insanely sick. It started as just like a cold, and then the next day it turned into pink eye, and then like 2 days after that I got a sinus infection, and then after that, no, it gets worse. It gets crazy. Hold on to your britches here, young man. So I'm now getting progressively sicker and sicker. Well, I'm thinking I just caught this insane cold being in Virginia City in the wintertime, and I keep riding this thing out. It gets worse and worse and worse. Well, I'm supposed to be going to Tennessee to film a pilot for someone else, and I missed my flight because of this, and I actually went into the emergency room because I was having symptoms of a heart attack where my chest, it felt like someone was sitting on it. My arms were going numb. I was passing out from dizziness. And I get to the hospital and they hook me up to all these devices. They're like, we can't find a damn thing wrong with you. Like, there's nothing wrong with you, man. Go home. And I'm feeling this right now. Something's wrong with me. And long story short, through the next month and a half, I went to the ER probably 5 or 6 times for heart attack and stroke-like symptoms. And not a single doctor could find anything wrong with me. They've tested me I've done echocardiograms, electrocardiograms. I have had CAT scans. I've had CAT scans on my brain. I've had liver tests, kidney tests. I've had blood tests. I've done stress tests on my heart. I've done everything a human being could possibly do to their body to test for anything wrong. Not a single doctor could find anything wrong with me. And this only happened after going back to the Washoe Club. Literally instantly, like the day I left the Washoe Club, all this has happened, and it stopped. Like, I'm fine now, but no doctors could find anything wrong. In fact, my last ER visit, the doctor said, look, man, you're doing yourself more harm than good by coming to the ER this much. Like, we can't find anything wrong with you. But how do you live with yourself? Like, when you feel these symptoms, and I literally felt like I was going to die every day. Like, I can't even describe how scary it was. Like, you could feel your heart doing something. There was one day I passed out in the hallway in front of my daughter. Like, she had to watch that. I literally just fell over and passed out in my hall. And that doesn't just happen. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't happen to normal, healthy human beings. That's not something that happens. But yet, I go to the ER and they're like, nothing's wrong with you. We don't know what more to do for you, dude. And so that's really, it just stopped. And the only explanation, I can't sit here and tell you guys in all honesty that I know for a fact that was because of the Washoe Club or an experience there or an entity. But all I can say is it's pretty damn coincidental, don't you think?
You know what's weird? Also in Virginia City, this is back when I was a part of Soul Seekers. I was doing an investigation with Dante and the Yellow Miner's Jacket cabin.
Yeah.
And when we were in there, we were trying to go to sleep. All of a sudden, our heartbeat, both of us, not just me, both of us are, when we're like in sleep mode, our heartbeat started going crazy, like beating really fast, like for no reason at all. We're actually sleeping, and we get woken up from our own heartbeats going crazy. It wasn't just me, it was Dante at the same time. And we're trying to figure this out. And then also, I didn't get to see it because my eyes are closed, but Dante said that he saw a light flash on the other side of the room. And it was a very weird experience that something like that could affect your heartbeat. And I also felt the same thing at Rialto Historical Site, where I had my heartbeat change drastically, beating really fast for no reason. And when I was being oppressed by a human spirit, like that was it's interesting, and there's a theory about that though that I have that I have is that these entities can manipulate our hearts because we have electrical pulse going through our heart.
Good point.
And EMF, if they feed off of EMF, other electronics, batteries, and stuff like that, well, why can't they do it to your heart? So
That's crazy, man. That's actually such a really really good theory. That's something crazy. And it's something I take seriously now that I've had that experience. Like, that wouldn't surprise me one bit.
yeah, so it makes sense that our heartbeat could be affected. Actually, I didn't even tell you the first time it happened to me when I first started investigating when I was actually attacked. That one's a little bit more detailed than this one. I believe was demonic. So compared to the other two, I believe was human related. But this one is different. I had a real Insidious moment. Have you seen the movie Insidious?
Yeah.
One time in my it was funny too because this happened before Insidious even came out, so this was never planted in my head for the whole movie or anything. But this happened before the movie even came out, and I had exactly that situation from Insidious.
What the hell? Holy cow!
Yeah, I had an out of body experience, and I was in a totally different room. It wasn't like within my own house.
Yeah,
we're completely different, and it didn't feel like a normal dream. I knew where I was. I knew what was going on. I knew that my body was in my bed, and I was in this room, this round red room, with a couple windows, but it was black and red everywhere, mainly red, and it reminded me of the Hellfire Caves. I made that connection after that episode came out, and I made that connection later. But that reminds me of the Hellfire Caves now, from like the reenactment stuff that they did. I was like, and then also another thing that they mentioned is the whole orgy thing. That I know this is the weird part about it, but I was in the middle of the room, a circular room, and there was an orgy going on around me.
I shouldn't laugh, but dang, dude, this is awesome. Keep going.
Yeah, this is the part. The main reason why I don't like talking about it is because of that part. It's kind of gonna get people like off of the story.
No, keep going. I want to hear this.
But when it came to that situation, and I was wondering where the hell am I, and I was just standing in the middle of the room. Then all of a sudden, I see this black silhouette of a woman. I knew it was a woman because of the hair, just the body shape and also the hair, but it was completely blackness. And then I saw her looking out the window. And then right when I spot her, she doesn't turn around. She phases from the window to her up here. And then all of a sudden she glides, not runs. She glides straight into my face. And that's when I feel my normal body again, my human physical body, and my heart stopped beating. And that was when that situation was scary. And the thing is, at the time I was thinking it was a dream, even though it felt like completely different than a dream. Just the way I felt, I felt like it was more external. It didn't feel like I was in my body still for a moment. But I felt like I was being attacked, and I was trying to wake up from the dream at the time, and I couldn't wake up. It was like what I felt like it was telling me mentally, telepathically, was saying that I'll let you go when I want to.
What the hell?
That's what I was feeling like at that moment. And then all of a sudden, finally, I come back in my body and my heart beats back. You know when your heart skips a beat? That pain?
Yeah.
That's what it felt like, except a lot more extreme because it was a little bit longer than that.
That's so insane, man.
And to this day, and you know what I prayed? Here's the weirdest part about that whole situation. That was the only night I ever prayed this. I prayed something like this. It's been like since 2012, I think this is when this happened. Or 2011, 2012. So when I made this prayer, I asked for God, please, if I'm going to go forth with this as for my future, please show me what I need to see, and show me what I need to experience. And then literally that exact same nights, 20 minutes later, which was also weird because I usually don't fall asleep so fast, but that time I did. And I had that experience. And
that's crazy.
Yeah. And to this day, I kind of want to do a short film of that exact moment because I have it still burned in my head because it was so surreal. And I want to make a short film on it, exactly the same situation that happened.
That'd be cool, man. You should do it.
Yeah, I just need better production for me to do all that because it's like a red room and everything. It has to be a round room. I want it exactly the same. So
yeah,
kind of hard. But that was the situation that changed. And that's so interesting that the heartbeat thing was affecting you too, and also affected me 3 different times in my life in the paranormal field. So it's very interesting.
Yeah, that's weird, man. It was scary. That's all I can say. I was left pretty terrified and grateful at the same time. Grateful to be alive.
Yeah, that story I never announced publicly to anyone. I never said anything. I said that to Rahkee, I think, once. I said it to a couple other friends and a couple family members, but that's it. I never told that ever.
Dude, tell it more, man. Like, I have 2 stories. I won't tell you guys because it'll take forever. But I have 2 stories that make me sound absolutely insane. And I until this last year, I haven't ever told them. But I started telling them more because, like, you know what? These were true stories that happened to me. I think people should know about them. But yeah, man, I'd tell it more. That was a good story, and it brings some perspective more into like your character and your background. You know.
The only problem with personal experience is I don't have the fucking evidence. It pisses me off because I wish actually the curious thing about that whole situation, I am so curious. I wanted to film above me when that happened in night vision. I want to see what happened to me in night vision during that moment, but I never even thought of filming. Like, who would? So I wish I could have caught my own experience on camera, see if anything was floating above me, like a shadow or something. I don't know. I wanted, or this like orb come in and out of me or something like that. Like I have captured that twice before. So that's, like I said, I'm not a big believer in orbs, but I've captured a couple that were, I can show you them a little bit later, Tyler. And I want to see what your opinion is on it.
Yeah, man, I'd love to look.
But yeah, I was like I said, when I first started, 100% didn't believe in orbs. I was actually the exact opposite of other investigators. Other investigators believed in orbs first and then started going into like not believing in it. But no, I was the exact opposite. I completely disbelieved in them until 2 or 3 things I captured that were just unexplainable. I couldn't figure out how that happened, or it didn't act like dust or a bug at all.
Yeah, I've seen there's a couple times where I've seen some interesting stuff. I wouldn't say I'm a believer in orbs, but I've definitely seen like energy. Like, yeah, I guess that's what you would define as like an orb. I guess the same thing, but
after these videos, your mind will be changed.
Okay.
Not photos, videos. I would never show you a photo. There's no way to prove that. But for video, I have a couple videos to show you that changed my mind completely. I was like, what the fuck?
Cool.
Awesome. Keep going.
Are we ready for some more questions from
you know what?
live chat? You guys ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
All right, Tyler. Where have you collected the most evidence on a paranormal investigation?
A place called Brewski's about 3.5 weeks ago. It's in Ogden. Short and sweet.
Tyler, just letting you know, if you ever go to back to Virginia City, Nevada, investigate the Mackey Mansion, because that is still my #1 most active location I've ever investigated in Virginia City, Nevada. Mackey Mansion.
Hell yeah, man. I will.
Matt, Cheryl says, did you say orgy?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for confirming. Yes, Cheryl, it was orgy.
Yeah, but this is embarrassing. This is why I don't really tell the story, because it is weird. It kind of goes with the Satanism thing that we, the demonic stuff that we deal with in our stories and everything that we read, right, Rahkee?
Of course, and they said that a succubus was after Matt.
No, actually, it wasn't being sexual to me, though. But maybe you like a vampire demon though. Vampire demons like drain that energy out of you. But yeah, that makes sense for that
And
part.
okay, and they want to hear that EVP.
Oh,
They
yeah.
want to hear Tyler's EVP.
I had it all queued up. 1 second here. Wow. All right, let me get the volume up here. This is from a video. I'll try and get the video on there as well. I'm just going to play it through my speaker here, or through my microphone.
Okay.
Last time I was here, in this exact spot where I'm standing, I caught an EVP that said, "Why? Cool it, Tyler. Why? Cool it, Tyler. Are you okay?"
That's a class A right there.
Wow, I hear it. I hear it straight.
Isn't that crazy?
Class A. Class A. That's awesome.
Definitely class.
And that was my theory behind it is, I was telling you about the little girl, and I kept asking the same question, like, are you okay? What's going on? And I don't know if you're familiar with the story, but it says that her and her dad died. And if you have, I don't know about you, but if my little girl and I were hanging out in the afterlife and some dude kept coming in and going like, are you okay? What's going on? Kept trying to communicate with my daughter. I'd be like, yo, cool it, dude. And it's coincidental that it's a male voice saying, why? Cool it, Tyler. Like, basically, like, dude, calm down. That I think that maybe that's her father. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, Tyler, later, I want to show you something. Stay on this. I want to show you a couple of videos, okay? Just
Will do.
Okay, so, yeah, I actually think that's very interesting. It actually makes sense what you said. I think it's telling you to cool it down.
Like, back off, get away, like, leave us alone.
Cool learning experience, too, from them. They're teaching you in a way. They're like, cool it.
Exactly. But
yeah,
or in the same sense, though, what if this father figure or whoever left me that exact EVP is responsible for my feelings leaving the Washoe Club? The heart problems. Like, did I upset this individual to the point where when I returned, it remembered me and was like, hey, screw you, buddy. I don't like you. I don't know. Like, who knows, man?
Here's another thing that I want to mention for you because it kind of could relate maybe. There was a time when I was in the old Washoe Club. I don't have the footage anymore because my hard drive broke down, but Dante has the footage. Dante still has the footage, but I don't speak to him anymore, so I can't really get the footage. So what happened is that Dante and Violet, when we went there for the second time, I went to Virginia City twice to investigate, and the other time was that one other experience. So 2 times I went there to investigate. The second time I investigated the old Washoe Club, I was in one of the back rooms. I can't remember which one, but it was on the second floor. Not back, sorry, front. It was one of the front rooms, second floor. And the Dante and Violet, when we were doing an SB7 Spirit Box session, saw a freaking winged shadow figure that had wings that just flew, just like started going up behind me and flew up. And that sounds kind of weird. And guess what? At the exact same time they experienced this, guess what the SB7 says?
Birds of a feather flock together.
That's what. No. That was my first guess.
No, it said the devil.
It said what?
The devil.
Dude, like
that was my second guess.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because I had an encounter, not birdish, but I saw in the Washoe Club, I saw like Gollum or Smeagol from Lord of the Rings, and it looked like that fool, like crawling on all fours, yeah. And he was like, "Hey, my precious," and I'm like, "Yo, not today, son." No, but really, I saw him like for a split second, and it literally looked like a creature crawling. I think there's more to that building than meets the eye, and that's my opinion.
And the reason why I was mentioning that is because that doesn't sound human to me. So it kind of makes sense to have some kind of attachment from that location that could have been conjured by someone else there to tell you that investigated there. It could have like not have been something from technically the history of the old Washoe Club. Maybe it was from the other investigators that were coming along doing their own thing, maybe conjurings. One of them.
Yeah, and that's crazy you say that, because I think there's a lot of places that become paranormally active from that. Like, so and so will hear, like, as a child, I used to hear of a specific place was haunted, and now, I still hear rumors about this place being haunted, but it's, you can never find death certificates, you can't find anything that would explain why it's haunted. But then you start to ponder the theories of, well, maybe so many people have gone there trying to manifest an experience that they've actually created this like vortex or this energy field for them to feed off of, and kind of created a haunting, right?
Kind of goes with the whole brain theory again. But then again, I feel like you and I and other investigators have debunked that. So
true that.
And so yeah, it could be causing a portal because of beliefs and that energy. Never mind. I'm not going to say that. It's very controversial. I don't want to comment.
Controversy is my middle name, brother.
Super controversial, and people are going to be blowing up comments like, "What the hell? Why would you believe that?" It affects other people's religion, is all I'm going to say. But whatever. I don't give a fuck. I'll say the reason why I think that we created God in a way, and all these angelics in a way, that are being human, that are acting like the Bible. I think, in the demons maybe. I think that all the negativity and also all the good in the world, and also us millions and millions of people believing in the same thing, maybe we manifested a God that is performing miracles. I don't believe he's the creator, but actually performing miracles, or things are actually happening because of those positive energies of everyone else.
Well, that ties into, I don't find that offensive at all. I think that a lot, if we hold an open mind, we really need to hear everybody's theory regardless of our beliefs. But if you're a believer in energies and the way that energy fields work, let's take the law of attraction. Everybody's heard of it. They've read the books or they've seen it. You can manifest all these things. Well, you kind of can. I mean, it's odd that you can create an experience through the power of thought and mind over matter. But in a sense, you're kind of onto something there, man, because realistically, a thought is more powerful when you have more people thinking that same thought. So, like, for example, when somebody's ill or injured, people are always on Facebook, can I please get prayers and positive energy? And if everybody actually focused their energy in, that's why, a room full of happy people feels great and a room full of negative people feels bad, is because you're feeding off of their actual energy. But I believe that, especially if you believe in the demonic, hauntings where they're negative or whatnot, and it turns out that the family just needs a lifestyle change, right? I'm not going to sit here and say that, certain activity didn't happen or whatever, but I'm just saying, what if a lot of this was fueled from the negative energy, or vice versa, the positive energy that these people are putting out? I believe in that.
But also give it an intelligence is the thing, because I'm getting EVPs, or I'm getting ITC sessions to where I'm getting the actual names of some demonics. Yeah,
and well, what I mean by that, more I should have elaborated, is that when you're negative, right, and you're constantly putting out this negative energy, it's a fuel source for the intelligent haunting. It's just making you a target, because they say, like, for example, that the demonic feed on the weak, right? Well, what's weaker than a bunch of people who are negative and fighting with each other every single day for years on end, and this and that happens. And if you notice, everybody's got that one friend who has to complain about something, right? There's a lot of people that know what I'm talking about. Like, you've got that one friend that, like, every time you see him, they've got something to say, like, dude, this happened to me today, or like, this sucks, or this went down today and it's so stupid. But if you notice, it's like this bad things keep happening to these people because they keep putting that thought of bad things happening out to the universe. If they change their habitual thinking, I think that a lot of positive things could happen. But if you're a demon or negative energy source, I'm going to look for the person who's emotionally unstable and weak, and I'm going to attach myself to them. That's my thought process behind it. You're susceptible when you act like that.
Yeah, that's what they do. They find the weak and they attach to them. And also they need an invitation in some kind of way. And certain negativity can cause that invitation. But here's another thing. Shit, I was going to say something. Could that be, so that's, if we have that theory, what if most of the negativity around the world is happening because of the media? Making everything all negative, more negative than it actually is. And now it causes more negativity around the world because people believe in it, and it's causing that emotions.
I don't know, man. That's a good theory. I think the media has a lot to do with it.
Freaking media.
Who knows, man? It kind of depends too on like your religious beliefs and like I don't know. Just depends.
That was just a random theory.
Well, if you think about it, if you read the Bible or you believe in the Bible, it says, and by the way, I'm not necessarily a very religious person by any means, but it talks about like the end of days and what the signs are, and the government will hang by a thread and all these natural disasters. I think that when things do go wrong or bad things happen and then the media portrays it that way, you get a lot of panic. You get an epidemic of people that, myself included, like nothing's worse for me than like I'll see something on the news and I'll be like, we need to cancel our vacation. I don't want to go here. I don't want to go there. Like this is going to happen. I want to protect our kids, this and that. But it does. It puts a lot of negativity out in the world. And look at the shape our world is in right now, man. We need positivity, like all worldwide. We need positivity. And when you flip on the news, man, when I was growing up, I'm not sure how old you guys are, but when I was growing up, when you turn on the news, like after the Rosie O'Donnell show and freaking Ricky Lake, I don't know if you guys remember Ricky Lake, but yeah, you would turn on the news and it would be like something positive, like so-and-so donates to this and that today, and then you'd have that one negative story, like shooting in this town and that town. Now you flip on the news and you'll be lucky if you find a story that invokes a positive feeling in you now. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. And it's a problem, I think, too. But let's finally get into the ITC session because we have to do it. Because ITC Talking Dead. So we have to involve the ITC. And not only that, maybe, just maybe, we can get some of our attachments to start speaking through the devices. Out of curiosity, Tyler, do you have an ITC device?
Yeah, I do.
What is it?
PXP 7.
No, my it's actually me. I just sit here and I go, and then like sometimes I'll spit a word out. Now my ITC device, or I use all the apps, so I've just got the Spiritus right now.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well,
so awesome. Yeah. I like Spiritus. Spiritus is my favorite app out of all of them.
Well, if you are associated with Chill Seekers, I can see why.
And that was before I was associated with Chill Seekers. So. For the record.
Yeah, I think he did mention something like that. But he was friends with them, though.
It's not like I'm promoting, because I'm not trying to say everyone go out here and get yourself a Spiritus device, but I would highly recommend, if you haven't had a chance to get a Spiritus yet, go onto the Play Store, type in Spiritus, and see if the app works for you, because there's been a lot of great evidence captured. Sorry. So yeah, Banshee Box time. I'm going to go ahead and run the chillseekers.com, Rahkee. So hold on real quick.
No, shameless plug.
Shameless.
All right, hold on. I'm going to switch over real quick and see. All right. And then I'm running my chat over here. So let's off my note 3, so I could read you guys in case you guys got questions. If anyone has questions, I can see what your anyone in the live group chat, if you have any questions for the Banshee Box. So right now I'm going to run it. I'm going to see, like, right now I'm going to run it with just the noise gate, and then after that I'm going to put on, me and Matt are still doing this experiment with the side pedals. So right now we're just going to do the noise reduction and go from there. So hello? 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 I thought I heard help.
And here's the thing. Don't quote me. I heard Matt earlier.
Oh, I'm sorry. Should I say what I heard or? All right, hold on. You know what? I can't hear you guys. I'm gonna have to go get some headphones real quick, so that way I can hear you. And I'll leave this right here though. Oh wow.
Tyler, backstory to this.
I'll be right back real quick. Let me just. You guys can ask the bench. Oh, man. Here. I'm hella like. All right, here we go. Hello?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Yo, yo.
Box just.
Marhaba.
Uh-oh.
That was Arabic.
Hold on real quick. Hold on real quick. Oh, the battery came out. Hold on, let's see. There we go. Maybe if I turn it on, that might help too. Off before I. That was weird. I can't remember if I turned it off or not. Oh well. Hold on real quick. I'm gonna grab some headphones.
Okay, bro.
Actually, you know what? Give me like 2 seconds. Go ahead. You guys could just talk real quick. I'll be right back.
Hey, Tyler, I'm going to tell you a little backstory anyway.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, so we're getting a lot of this has been going on since I was a part of Soul Seekers. I've been capturing through Spirit Box sessions or other ITC devices, capturing first my name, then it says help afterwards. Don't know why. If I would have to go off of what the mediums have told me, but when it comes to evidence-wise, I don't have any proof. But right now, it's keep happening where it says my name and it says help afterwards. That's happened since like 3 episodes of Soul Seekers. It kept saying that, and then a lot of the sessions that Rahkee and I do, it does the same thing. It says Matt and it says help afterwards. Don't know why, but so if you hear that. That would be interesting even more because it keeps happening, and it's continuous. When I was a part of Soul Seekers, on top of that, we kept getting EVPs on the SB7 saying we're evil. Except I think that was from the attachments that was involved with that particular SB7 because I don't get that anymore. So
you're talking about like that exact device you were using, like that unit, or you mean that model?
The exact device.
Okay, gotcha.
Because when it comes to attachments, I believe that was attachment because I have my own SB7 now. That one we were using Dante's at the time. I have my own SB7. Don't get the same thing. I don't get we're evil all the time on the same thing. I get that on. We did get that on Dante's SB7 though. So I'm thinking there's an attachment to the device, but the whole Matt then help thing is still happening on other devices. So that one I think is maybe an attachment to me and not the devices. So don't know what that is.
That's weird, man. I had like a medium. I'm pretty skeptical on those, but I had this one tell me, like, "Hey, did you know that you have this little boy following you around?" And I'm like, I was kind of caught off guard. This was at a conference, by the way. Oregon Ghost Conference, and I was the host of the psychic panel. So I was questioning all the psychics, and after the panel was over, one of them had mentioned to me like, "Oh, you've got this little boy following you around," and I just remember thinking to myself like, "Wait, what? I have a boy following me around? That's weird." And after the panel ended, she came over and she's like, "Yeah, you have this little boy following you around." And I started to kind of get like really, she was so detailed about it. I was like, well, I'm gonna get some other opinions. So unbeknownst to her, I walked around to some of the other, psychics at the conference throughout the tenure of me being at the conference for 3 days and asked them like, "Hey, is there like, do you sense anything around me? Like, what can you pick up on?" And sure enough, the first psychic I talked to, she goes, "I'm not really sure what it is, but it feels like you have like an attachment of a little boy." And I was like, "Oh my God, this is weird." Okay, but anyone could say that. Anybody could say that. And so I went to the next psychic, and Jeff, who was in chat recently, he was there. He was with me when I was questioning these people. And I went up to the next psychic, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm just curious, do you sense anything around me?" And this lady goes, "Yeah, I sense a little boy around you." And so now 3 for 3 psychics have told me the same thing. So moving forward, throughout the entire tenure of the conference, I talked to 6 or 7 different psychics. Every single one of them, unknowing that I'm going around asking each of them this, at least to my knowledge, told me the exact same thing, which I thought was A, really cool because it's credible to their abilities, which I thought was kind of mind-boggling in itself, and then B, the fact that who is this? Where did it come from? What does it want? I've never sensed it. Like, why? Those kinds of questions. So that's really odd that, you know, you're having probably the same scenario, I would say, or who knows, if it's continually saying your name. Do you think you picked up something from a location, or do you think this has been something that's been with you for a while, or what?
When it came to the Soul Seeker episodes, I remember the voices changed, so it wasn't like the same voice every single time. I feel like wherever I go, they're always asking specifically me for help. I don't know why. That's the problem. Actually, if I go by what the mediums say, I would know why. And actually, one of the episodes kind of said 2 words that kind of goes with it. The mediums are telling me, 3 of them, saying the same things. Exact same things. I even have audio for 2 of them, I believe. And they said that apparently I'm the chosen one for Archangel Michael. And that I'm supposed to be bringing light. Apparently something about light and everything. And then one thing that I captured on the SB7 back at Steam Ferry Berkeley was it said the light stayed. So right afterwards, it said Matt help, and then it says the light savior or something like that.
That's freaking weird, man.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about either. So that's what I was gathered by what they've said. I have the audio to prove it. I'm not making it up. I could show you the audio. I'm actually probably going to put it unlisted on YouTube, just so I can have it for myself, just in case something happens.
I've got a ton of videos unlisted. That's the best way to do it. Archive them for yourself.
So like my personal medium stuff, I think I was going to put unlisted on my channel.
Yeah, you should send me the link, dude, when you do that. I love like watching others work. I won't share it. I just, I'll do the same with you. I've got videos I leave unlisted for that exact reason.
Everyone's just going to be jealous about the movie that's coming out, but I have 2 Man vs. Paranormal videos on my channel unlisted. If someone hacks it, they get the footage. Don't take that as a challenge. Don't do it. But that's where I have 2 pieces of evidence from my movie. And I could show you it after this, Tyler. I only show it to respectable investigators.
Rock on, man. Oh, look, he's
you guys
all
ready?
set up over here. Dude, I was born ready, bro.
All right, here we go.
When I came out of the womb, I had ready. I was holding the sign that said ready.
Wait. You're born? Just kidding.
Whoa, dude.
Okay, I'll start flipping through the channels. I'm sorry.
Hey, that was kind of cool, actually.
Hello.
Forgivable.
I heard what?
I heard 6 too.
How many spirits around me?
Say 8?
Can you say it clear for me, please? Well, let me try to. It's coming in a lot. Let me try to see if I could. 8. I heard 8 clear on that one.
It said 8 before, too.
Yeah. And I heard 5 right now.
Yeah,
They're just spitting out numbers at me. All right.
ask them, let's speak to our attachments.
All right.
All of our attachments.
Does Tyler have an attachment?
Adequate.
I'm waiting for it to say the boy.
I know, dude, me too. And I'm trying not to because I want to be biased.
Does Tyler have an attachment spirit box? Do spirits follow Tyler? I thought I heard C, which means Spanish for yes, but
Did that say El Cristo in Spanish?
I think it did.
Dude, what the hell, man?
What does that mean?
Like,
It
Jesus
said
Christ.
yes. It said yes right now after, and that's the same voice, whoever's talking right now.
So we had like 2 Spanish words come out.
I know California Spanish, so that's
I
as
know
good as I get.
I know kitchen Spanish, which is about as good as that. So I just know all the wrong things to say.
What's the name of Tyler's attachment spirit box? Can you tell me?
Turn up the volume.
Turn it up. Okay, I'll try. Hello?
You turn off the lights. See what that does. See if the
Turn off the lights. All right, hold on.
Because then we can speak to both. If there is darkness.
Thought I heard I am.
I,
That was a pretty sweet stroller, dude.
Oh, where?
3.
Hello? Hi. I come with the utmost respect. All I ask for is, right, I have questions. If you could answer me through this white box, I'd appreciate it. Okay.
What's in my
Thought I heard dead. Let that go.
What is in my hand?
What is in Matt's hand?
Come on. This is-
Women. It said women, dude. You got women in your hands? It's crazy.
That would not make sense for me.
What is in? I can't even see you on right now. Like your video's off on. Oh, yeah, I gotta look at the other. Okay, I see it. All right, awesome. I had to look at the other.
Intelligent.
Okay. What's in?
Put it in your
What's
hand.
in Matt's hand? Can you tell me? Spirit box.
Dude, I just heard of something.
I thought it said skull.
Tyler, did you try?
It sounded to me kind of like I caught the end of like the ULL part, like oh. So yeah, it sounded like yeah.
Guys, I just heard like a whisper.
Yeah, I get those, and that's I've been
Wait.
getting those lately with the box.
Wait, hold up. Like in the audio, just or something just came through my headphones too. Like no joke.
That was me. I was going.
Oh.
I was mimicking what I heard earlier.
Oh, dude.
That.
Way to be a punk, man. Just
No.
kidding.
I was
Live
thinking,
chat, can you hear me good? Like I saw somebody could turn it up. Is this better for you if I go up next to it more? Because I got my microphone so that way I could hear the people on the chat and also hear the spirit box at the same time. I heard Chris.
mad.
Yeah. It sounded like it said Matt.
And a female.
Cassidy.
Cassidy.
Then it said here after I said the name. Like I said its name. I was like, oh, here. Oh.
Cassidy.
Did it just say Cassidy again, or was that one of you guys?
And then I heard Paul.
I was calling for Cassidy.
Cassidy, are you still here with us?
Did you guys hear cigarette?
Thought I heard yes. Hi, Cassidy.
Yeah. Right before you said it. Yeah.
Good.
Dead.
That's Trump.
Central. Okay, guys.
What does it look like on your side where you're at? What's it look like on the other side?
You know what would be so that other question? It'd be so creepy. It's like right behind Matt.
Does anyone on the live chat have any questions for the Banshee box? Heard yes.
If you guys see me waving randomly, I'm waving at my Instagram followers. I'm on Instagram Live, and I'm waving.
I want you to.
What do you want? Heard Angel. Heard Angel.
What was that growl? Or drag?
Trying to see if I have an object I can hold in my hands here. Okay, let's try this. Dude, why do you have like an ancient medieval sword, bro?
Well, you don't have yours? We all have one.
Dude,
you're missing out, man.
I'm behind on the ancient sword club.
Oh, wait. No, where was it? No, how did it go? Oh,
that's a dagger.
Look at that.
Okay.
How
about this?
Holy water?
What's in my hand?
All right. Spirit box. What's in Tyler's hand? Can you see this? What's in his hand? I'll take can you see it? 1-800? No.
1-800 Holy Water. Order yours now for only $8.99.
I have an idea.
Does it involve the sword? If it does, I'm on board.
Yes, I'm gonna go over to Rahkee with this.
Okay, I don't know if I'm on board for that actually.
Rahkee. Scared of me now.
Hello. Can you say Tyler Spirit Box?
Hey, dude, I have an idea.
I'm all ears.
What we're gonna do?
Hey, it said smoke, right? Smoke again? Was that smoke twice?
Did you say smoke?
Say my name again right now.
Is that smoke a third time?
Smoke, yeah, I heard it too.
Yeah.
What's in my hand, spirits?
Hey, you know what? I'm going to take the echo off and see what happens. Let's go. In the dark?
I'm in the dark. You're in the dark.
Can you see me? Can you see me, Spirit Box?
Welcome.
Where are you? How many spirits are on you?
That's right.
That enter the portal, enter the doorway to our side. Did you just
Hello.
you moved your
I was going to the mail meter. Why?
okay, I was just wondering something
Hi. That was pretty
clear.
creepy.
Yeah.
That was right.
7. What is
You say
7?
Tyler?
What is 7?
Yeah.
I can also make this sound like a. Watch, you got to hear this. I can make it sound like a Geo box. This is awesome. Hold on, real quick.
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right.
Oh my God, the settings that you don't mess with anymore. That you told me not to mess with.
All right, hold on, real quick. All right. Hello? Hello? It sound like a Geo box or no?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit? Let me see if I could clear it up.
You know, this is very entertaining to me. That making this thing glow. It's so cool. How do I make that glow?
I'll put it back. I'll put it back. All right, hold on.
Here, Rahkee.
Yeah.
So
You
here,
call me Rabbit?
B Rabbit, yeah.
Hey, Rabbit.
the reason why I'm gonna call it the idea I was going
There's Chris right now. Hi. Well, what's going on? Here, I'll put the pedals on to its regular.
to do that. You have
All
this.
Did that say what I think it said?
What did you think it said?
Dude, I am not going to say that on air.
Why? Matt's been cursing up a storm.
Family show. I have a knife on my neck.
And I don't know why either. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello? Clear.
No. Really actually sharp.
Hello? All right, bye, Cheryl.
Oh.
Did one of you guys just like say something into the mic?
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I
Hi.
have.
Who's here with me?
That's me.
We're marking like now, tagging now on the headphones because
Dude,
doesn't mean coughing.
here's the thing. I have an idea.
Does it involve the sword?
Yes. Okay. This is the idea. Let's do a Banshee box on my side because there's a storm going on around us right now.
Okay.
On top
Spirit
of that,
box. Let me just go real quick. Can you dim the crystal for me one time to show me that you were here? Please? Can you dim it one time?
Sounded like it said, uh-huh.
That's what I thought. I heard that too. Okay. Can you tell me goodbye, Spirit Box?
Help. You just said help.
Yeah. Goodbye, Spirit Box. Okay. Goodbye. Thought I said bye. I'm not sure.
Wait, so what is that? What does that crystal do? I've never seen that before. I've never seen anything like that.
Oh, okay. Well, I could explain it. Okay, so anyway, radio is a copper, and then that's it. No, I'm just kidding.
That is the best description. Like, dude,
that's how it goes. No, so anyway, supposedly, crystal helps with giving energy to spirits. Like this is a crystal quartz.
Here's the thing.
okay. Okay, I'm familiar with quartz, but like, where's the light come? Are you like illuminating it yourself, or how's that working?
Okay, so copper is man, what's the word for it? It's God.
Makes pennies.
Your K2's going off.
Oh yeah. Copper is a God. I don't know. He caught me off guard with that question. Conductor. Thank you. Copper is a conductor as far as receiving and transmitting for radio, as far as like antennas. You know.
Yeah.
So I wrapped copper around the quartz crystal to help with communication with the spirit box. So, and the lights were just it gives like the energy man, it's so horrible. I cannot talk today.
Dude, I think you're possessed, bro.
I know, right? Okay, so the reason why I got it with the lights is so that way, if it is a conductor, and if I do see that spirits are trying to take energy or use it as a transmitter for the radio to see if how much they would be able to take out. And at certain points in times, I have seen this crystal dim at certain locations. So that kind of like tells me, well, are they using the energy to put into the spirit box, or are they using it as a conductor to use through the radio? Which I don't know, but I'm still trying to figure that one out.
I guess a better question is like, how are the lights in there? Would you like drill some little quartz holes and stick in some Christmas lights? Like, what'd you do?
Wrapped up Christmas lights, pretty much.
Like, it looks cool. I'm not like criticizing. I like it a lot. That's why I'm so curious as to how you compiled this device.
I captured a bunch of fireflies and
dude, that's really cool, man.
No,
that's
I'm just kidding, no. I know it's horrible. Me and my sarcasm. I apologize. But actually, the light it comes like that. Like it was. I found this actually at the swap meet, and I saw that the copper had lights attached to them already.
That is cool. I see it. Look, the way it looks from my end, it looks like you have installed lights like inside.
Oh no! Let me turn on the light real quick, and I'll show you.
Forgive my ignorance.
No, man. And this is my shopping cart I take with me to the swap meet because that's how much I bring home. So.
If you find an RRDR60, let me know.
I know. I'm still. Yeah, you know what? I got a K2 meter for $5 at the swap meet, and I got this crystal for 10. Oh, look! It just dimmed right now. Like I'm not sure if you guys saw it, but it just dimmed right now. I didn't even touch the table or anything.
I missed it.
Oh man. Okay. So, but if you see, the cable has the lights attached.
Oh, that's a pretty good idea, man. Like that's really clever. Kudos.
Here's the thing, Rahkee.
What's that, man?
You know this thing, if it happens so much, it's probably not paranormal, which is why I don't think that the whole light dimming thing is actually a paranormal phenomenon. I think it's just the battery within the lights.
I would have to. I see what you're saying.
Because it happens every time we do it. Every single time.
No,
that's what she said.
I've been on investigations to where It hasn't dimmed. Like even on the last investigation, the lights didn't dim.
When we were at Patterson, I even saw the lights dimming in and out a couple times. Personally, I think it does it too much to think that it's probably paranormal. I think there's natural phenomena to it, but that's just me. Doesn't mean that the spirits can't use it though. It's used as energy itself. And if it's more drastic, maybe like turning them off would be even crazier.
Or like changing them different colors.
Is Rahkee speaking?
Just kidding. No, that was me.
No. Tyler said, or changing them different colors.
I was being sarcastic.
No, that would be a great, a great way to. I wish there was a way. Actually, no, I agree with you. That'd be cool to be able to.
If there was like a
lights.
Yeah, like we should like call it like a K2 meter or something. Sorry, man. I gotta hit you with my bliss.
Spiritus.
Right.
And
yeah.
Let's do this. Let me turn it up. Nope, that's on my phone. I need to okay. Who's here? What I want to know, what's in my hand? What is in my hand?
A LARPing device.
More like decoration. I thought I heard spirit.
I will second that. I heard spirit as well.
Faith. That was a fire. What is this? Use the energy around us. There's the storms. This computer.
Dude, I heard blade, bro. I don't know if it was you guys. Like, if you heard that too.
This is you call this a blade? Hello. I just pulled a Rahkee. I didn't put on the pedals. Rahkee, we did the same thing now.
What's the benefit of the pedals, gentlemen?
It delays it more.
Death?
Who's here with us? Hey.
Spirits. It said spirits. Did anyone hear that?
Yeah. Can you come into the box? Manipulate the audio. Speak through.
I heard spirit again.
Who's here with us? Did you hear that?
What the hell was that?
It's not supposed to do that. I just got a burst of energy right behind me. Ah, that gave me the chills. Okay. Who's here with us?
Dude! Did that seriously say die?
Yeah. Who's here with us? I want to know. What are you? Say my name.
Spirit again.
Yes. Use the energy. What is in my hand? My left hand. I heard quart, like the quart crystal. Is there anyone that wants to speak through?
Sounded like give 'em hell.
Who's the female that follows me? Smoke. I said that earlier. Okay. Okay, what's on Tyler's side? Who's with Tyler? Spirit.
Spirits.
Here. I'm going to use another one called the portal. A portal on Banshee. What happened to Rahkee?
I don't know. That is a good question.
The demons got him.
Yeah.
Oh. Not Rahkee. In the room with me.
It sounded like it said Billy Madison.
Billy Madison. Who wants to speak?
What the hell? That sounded creepy.
Yeah.
Oh, that was weird.
That, I didn't hear that before through this device.
That was like a weird laugh.
I heard like the devil within that. Not the whole thing, but within the small part of that, I heard the devil within it. What are you? What are you?
Don't be selling.
Don't be selling.
Sounded like it said they're around you.
They're around you. Who's they?
From that trip, the biggest time.
Who is they? Go back.
Monsters?
Huh. What is around me?
That was weird. I don't know, maybe it's just the audio on my end. I'm hearing weird stuff.
Who are the shadow people? The shadow people. The ones in my childhood.
Sounded like he was trying to say a sentence there.
It sounded like what?
It sounded like he was trying to say a sentence, like a full sentence. Is this still the Spiritus, or what are you using?
This is the portal. I'm trying to get Rahkee back on.
Dude, I'm losing you. Or it sounded like it.
One sec. One sec. Who is the boy that follows Tyler? Who is that? Who's the boy?
There it goes again, monsters.
I thought I heard I want the spirit. I thought within that I heard I want the spirit's name.
What the hell?
Come on. Come forth. Who are you? Well, can you not give me the name? That's not happening. Is that what it said?
That's what it sounded like.
What are you? Why do you not want to give me your name? What are you?
What the?
Energies all around. It's awesome. I just felt a cold breeze right now. I just felt a cold breeze. Speak it to the device. I am holding it. If you're not any negative entity, if you're not a negative entity, I give you permission to use my body to communicate through this. Yes. What are you? Happy?
I am somebody.
I am somebody. It's being so cryptic, just like how a demon would. Why so cryptic? Did it say 7?
Oh yeah, twice. It said I am 7, and then it said 7.
Dude, you know that I did an investigation at the Revenant Acres farm, and I was dealing with a demon calling itself I am 7, and it also involves 2 possession cases, also of them calling themselves I am 7 when they're possessed.
Oh, that's freaky, man.
Very interesting. Who is here with us? What are you again? Give me that. What do you want to tell me? You don't have to give me your real name. Tell me what you call yourself or to other people.
Oh, dude, it said it again, bro.
It said quietly the devil, too. It said quietly the devil.
Dude, I heard the 7 like clear as day. I don't know what you got following you, man, but it sounds nasty.
It goes with the... Did you hear that?
Was that like a knocking sound, or what are you talking about?
Yeah. It's actually because it's disconnected. Okay, well, I have that recorded now. I heard the devil. You heard this. You heard 7 again.
7 like multiple times.
Oh, that's awesome. I think I spoke over it, maybe, or maybe I heard the other thing, and then I was too concentrated on that I didn't hear it.
That's crazy, dude.
That's awesome. The Banshee box, made from Rahkee himself.
Ta-da!
And I don't know what happened to him. He got off. So we're going to end the show here. Tyler, do you have any plugs to put in?
Yeah, just my YouTube, Paranormal Prophecy is my main channel. It's where I put most of my full productions on there. And then if you guys just want, like random footage or vlogs, behind the scenes kind of stuff, my channel is Paranormal Tyler. And that's it, guys. That's all the plugs I got.
And everyone, please subscribe to the Paranormal Research Unit channel. I want to get back to what my old channel was, which was over 1,000. So get it back to 1,000 on this channel, which would be great.
Get her done.
And then also go follow Man vs. Paranormal, the movie. You get to see all the behind the scenes, the trailer that will be coming out, everything. And the information of where you can see the movie in theaters. Okay. Everyone, goodbye. And also that Man vs. Paranormal thing's on Facebook. Did I say that? I guess not.
Yeah. Well, you said it was online, but you didn't tell us where. So go to Facebook is what you're saying, right? I'm going to go do it right now.
Awesome. Okay, stopping the broadcast.